All right, and we are back with another episode, and joining me today, Lyndsay Butler. How's it going?
Good, thanks, Cody. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm a little tired today, but I mean, we'll get through it. So, for starters, for some who may not know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you come from.
So my name is Lyndsay Butler. I am a seventh generation Albertan. My family got here in 1885, and I currently still live on the same property that has been in the family like pretty much since then. I am a country and Western artist. I say that specifically so people get a bit better idea of what kind of music they're going to get with me. And singer-songwriter. And I've been pursuing music full time since 2018 with a album set to be released this year.
Perfect. And tell us how music kind of started for you. Was it something that you kind of grew up on, or is it something that you just fell in love with one day and then continued?
I would say definitely I grew up on. I remember being out at my grandparents' farm a lot of the times on the weekends, and they would always be listening to AM 1140. So like very, very classic country. And when I got a little bit older, it was almost like I had this muscle memory of all these songs I knew, these old Patsy Cline songs and Jim Reeves songs and Merle Haggard songs. And I just was like, I don't really remember learning them, but just because they were on all the time, I would say that kind of got deeply rooted into who I am as an artist. And I mean, I went through the whole, I'm trying rock and roll for a couple of years phase in like high school. And, I definitely, when they talk about roots, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, perfect. And I know you said, country Western. I guess, is that how you would describe your sound for someone who maybe has never heard your music before?
Yeah, I would say majority country Western. I have a little sprinkling in there of some Southern rock as well.
Okay.
But I mean, you can argue that that's just a different form of country. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. And influences, who are some of your influences that you have in the music industry?
My influences, it's very broad, very broad. I would start off with like Coulter Wall, Core Blunt, Chris Stapleton, his like simplicity, yet just that huge vocal range. Songwriting of like Loretta Lynn, very, very truthful, and probably some Miranda Lambert thrown in there as well.
Perfect. And you said like the songwriting. I was actually going to ask that. Do you have a specific influence for just songwriting?
It's weird because I think songwriting influence comes from everywhere. So I actually, on the album that will be out, no date yet. I actually have a song that is the nickname. I call it my like Shayla Miller song, because I had just recently bought her album and I was just playing it over and over. I think I just played it all day one day, and all of a sudden this song kind of like came to me. So I'm like, well, it's a very Shayla Miller-esque kind of song, got lots of minor chords in it. But yeah, songwriting influence can be anything from like the way I hear somebody say something just as a phrase, and then it'll just trigger something like, how would I say that? And then boom, whole song.
Yeah, perfect. And do you have a particular influence just for the performance side of things?
I would say that's kind of where the more country Western part of me slips in. From anything to like George Strait to just standing up there and just telling it like it is.
Yep.
There's not a whole lot of flashy lights going on. There's no dancing. I love to watch the dancing. Don't get me wrong. But I'll have backup dancers and stuff like that. I don't think that's really that. Yeah, my influences are more singer-songwriter storytellers when it comes to performing.
Okay, love it. Perfect. And all right, let's talk about your song, which is out now. How does it feel? It's called Stalker Song. How does it
That's the
feel?
one.
Tell us a little bit about this single and how it all came together.
Yeah, so this song, I honestly was writing as a joke. I don't know what, I don't know. You just sit down with your guitar sometimes and just let it fall out, and whatever happens, happens. Doesn't mean you have to record it. You could just laugh about it and show your friends. Um, but then this one just got like, I don't know, the writing in this is I'm quite proud of the writing actually, even it's the Stalker Song. It yeah, I don't know. And then when I recorded it and we got to producing it, it just like took on its own life. And it's, yeah, I don't know. It's very different from all the other songs on the album. And I don't know, I think it's a pretty cool song.
Absolutely. And we were talking earlier, the title Stalker Song. Said nowhere within the song. So what made you come up with the title Stalker Song?
Well, as I said, I have my like Shayla Miller-esque song.
Yes.
I also have a song that I have written that's like one of my mom's favorite songs, and she calls it my John Denver song. So
Okay.
apparently, in my family and in my world, I have, which is true because all of our dogs have like three different names, sort of. They all have like nicknames. So apparently my songs get nicknames as well.
Okay.
And I think that's kind of, it was like, oh yeah, the Stalker Song. And I always thought that I was going to call it the hook line, which is Make You Mine. And then it just was like, no, the Stalker Song is cooler.
Perfect. That's too funny. You should have like a whole album of like, just different titles like that, but it says it nowhere in any of the songs. It's just
Well, and I was even going to put it in brackets, like Make You Mine. And then, yeah, my co-producer, Aaron Young, was like, I think the Stalker Song is just cooler. And I was like, I do too. Let's do it.
stick with it. Okay, awesome. And do you do this song's on all platforms too, or?
Stalker Song, yeah, Stalker Song is everywhere. It's really live.
Okay, perfect. And do you do a lot of co-writing as well?
Sometimes, sometimes not. For the past little bit, when I've gone to co-write, I kind of come in with like the project more so and talk to somebody that, example, I have a song called Sway Back on the album, and I call it the curse of the second verse.
Okay.
I could not nail that second verse for the life of me. It's only a 2-verse song. And I really needed to get some good, solid details into this song that somebody who like had to know about like rodeo and can help me really just build that story a bit more. So this song literally took 5 years probably to finish.
Oh, wow.
And I met a friend, Mark Parsons, and found out that he was doing music a bit more. He invited me out to his place to jam one night, and I was just like, oh, you're it. You're the one who's going to help me. So Mark helped me finish the second verse of Sway Back. He used to ride saddle bronc, and then he was a pickup man for years and like loves rodeo like I love rodeo. So he very much just helped me really just bring it in on the details and stuff. And even some of the words we chose are very rodeo specific words, whereas a non-rodeo crowd might be like, what the heck does that mean? What's tapped off mean? So yeah, co-writing it's really fun. It's, for me, it's got to be like a really good click or a fit. So yeah.
Okay. And where do you find most of your inspiration when writing?
From everywhere.
That's fair.
I mean, it's raining right now, and thank God it's raining. Oh man, it has been so dry here for so many months. Oh, we're just hoping to get some more pasture right now. But uh just from everywhere. I mean, like, so I live in an old farmhouse and I have a tin roof. So now in my mind, I'm already thinking like, well, I've had this song idea for a while. Nobody steal it. But it's I have this idea to have a song of like during harvest, which would be right now, where like the girlfriend and the boyfriend, they don't get to see each other, or the husband, wife, whatever. They like don't get to see each other during harvest at all because they're just in the field and they're sleeping in the field, sleeping. That's it. So I had an idea to have this song called like Rain on the Tin Roof. And you know how they're just hoping for rain for like one day out of like 15 so they can just hang out and actually see each other. So again, it's already like picked up that song idea that I've had probably for a year. But yeah, inspiration. Holy man, I was driving to Strathmore on Friday and I had a song idea. I find I write when I'm driving. And I do have a theory behind this. Now, you can call me this crazy songwriter girl or whatever, but I do believe it's totally like left brain, right brain.
Yep.
So your left brain is all about like safety and math and very like straight line kind of business. And your right brain's like backflips and doing cool stuff and like, you know, really having fun experiences in life and being super creative. So I think when my left brain is driving and it's busy, then my right brain is like, woohoo, look at me, I got ideas. So that's where the writing happens, is when I'm driving, actually.
Interesting. I just missed you at Strathmore that day.
Oh yeah.
That at the Origin tap room?
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely missed you. I was there with Drew Gregory that night.
Oh, fun. Yeah. It was getting pretty wild already at like, what did I start at like 4 or something in the afternoon? And I was like, ooh, this is going to be a party. So
yeah, it was a good time. That's for sure. So
I had 2 more shows that weekend. So I very responsibly
went home,
which is hard to do there.
that's fair. Yeah. I've never been to that place before. So it was a first for me.
It's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So for your song, Stalker Song, do we have plans for a music video, lyric video, anything in the works?
I think a lyric video would be fun just because, like I said, I am pretty excited about the lyrics. I think my favorite line in the song would be, one day I'm going to take your name. So like, it's like, whoa, she's stealing stuff. But like, really, it's like, oh no, y'all gonna get married. Right. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of a fun, playful song that's kind of creepy.
Fair enough. All right. Okay. What can you say has been the best advice you've been given in your career up to this point?
Oh my. Probably do music for you, for like myself.
Right.
Don't try to write songs to be chasing a trend or, you know, trying to be what's working for somebody else.
Yes.
And I think like as I've grown in the past, I think it's been like 4 years since I released a single. Like the first single off the album, there was a 4-year gap in between there. And I would say that happened very rapidly. When I quit my day job in 2018 and decided I'm just doing music, and I would rather completely fall on my head and say, you know what, I gave it a really good try and have to get a real job again. Like, oh, because that's so terrible to be like, you know, 99% of the world.
Yep.
I think it all just kind of, I don't know. I I went down to the Cowboy Poetry Gathering in Elko, Nevada, and was kind of exposed to a lot of great musicians that like cowboy poetry is a pretty narrow field for an audience, but the overlap with some of my favorite artists like Colter Wall was there, Ian Tyson was there, Cora Blund was there, and how they get up and they do their thing and they write their songs for them and how what works for them and what resonates with them, and they find their people.
Yeah.
So I think that would be number one, is do music for yourself and make sure that you as the artist and the songwriter love it just because you can, and you just hope people do.
Yeah, as long as it's honest to yourself. Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. And what you said there's a 4-year gap between your singles and stuff. How come there was such a long gap in there?
I think I would say just due to, well, I was writing a bunch of songs then.
Yeah.
But I kind of lost the belief in like that this could actually be my life, my livelihood, my, career.
Right.
Yeah. So I think whether it's you're female, you're going to age out, all these other outside noises, I think we're getting way too loud. So then I just had to tell them to shut up.
So what changed? What brought you back?
I literally think it was in 2018, I call it my life purge. Okay. I had a big aha moment. I've been doing a lot of energy work. I went down to Sedona, Arizona with my mom on a retreat that spring. I really just started doing my life how I wanted to do my life, not listening to what anybody else thought it should be, what it should look like, sound like. And I went to CFR in Red Deer. It was the first year they had CFR there.
Yep.
And I had the best time ever. I'm at rodeo that I love. I'm watching my friends do their thing. I was at multiple live concerts. I was songwriting during the day, and I was shopping, which I'm pretty good at. I was doing my life, and it felt so good. And I went to work on the Monday, and it was basically like, oh my, this is not my life. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing. It was so blatant, and I just had to get out of there.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of second that. Like, I have a full-time job, and it's not it anymore. The video work is what I want to do full-time now. So it's like, I'm trying to get all the ducks in a row. And
absolutely. Yeah. And I just like I said, what's the worst that's going to happen to us?
Yeah.
Doesn't work out. Yeah. You get a job again.
Exactly. That's
like whatever.
Doing music full time, leaving your job and stuff. What advice could you give someone who's looking to do the same thing?
Yeah, just if you're on the path where you really know once you figured out like your own self, your own artist, your sound, your whatever, and that is not something that happens overnight. It's not something that happens in 6 months. And it can also be constantly changing. Like if you listen to this album, there is super, super country storytelling songs. Then there's the Stalker Song. Then there's like Texas swing funny songs. But you know what? That's who I am. So once you figure out who that is, and I would just say give her. Do whatever you can, make the money. That could just be hanging on to your job a little bit longer till you can get your EP out or whatever your project is.
Yep.
And just somehow make it happen.
Yep. Just give her.
Wouldn't it be fun? It's way more fun to work for yourself and really try than working for anybody else who just wants you to really try, but you're getting nothing out of it at the end of the day.
Right. I totally like I
Like
took
a headache.
I took the summer off and just to do this stuff. And it was like I've just been loving the fact of like working from home, working for myself, being able to kind of be anywhere at any given time, no rush to
Absolutely.
get home right away because I have to work in the afternoon or whatever it may be. Yeah, so I
It's a whole like now I just get a little bit like woo woo in my energy talk and whatever, but it's a whole different way of life and it feels so drastically different
it does.
that you know it's fabulous.
I agree. Perfect. All right. Do we have any shows lined up that people can look forward to coming up?
Yeah, so this weekend I'm playing on Friday night in High River at 525, the bar downtown. I think it's like their social media is the best bar in the world, I believe. Saturday, I'm off to Kinsella, Alberta to open up a show for Blake Berglund, being brought to everybody by Hippies and Cowboys podcast.
Okay.
And Sunday, I'm in Olds at the Mountain View Jamboree.
Right. Yeah.
And I believe it's the first year they're putting that festival on. So that'll be super exciting. I'm on at 2:00 there with a trio. Then next weekend, I'm playing at a cattle sale up by Olds on the Friday, and Saturday I'm playing at in Wildwood at Go Hard Ranch. So those are two full band performances and they're like beside each other. So that's fun travel wise. I never get that lucky. But yeah, that's just the next 2 weeks because I can't remember after that.
Okay. That's fair. All right. And all right. So you have the release of this song. You got an album coming up. What's next for you?
Release that album.
Release
and book as many shows as possible in between now and then even when it's released way after that. Hopefully that border would like to open up and I can start touring into the States. Yeah, long-term goal, plant my butt in Texas.
There you go. I hear Texas is great. I've never been, but I hear
I went twice in 2019 and it is just like, I don't know. I might be 300 pounds when I move there though, because I can't not eat barbecue like every day. And the mac and cheese is my favorite, but the people are so kind. Their live music scene is everywhere. You can hit like 4 shows a day and yeah, there's music everywhere. There's music at barbecues. There's music at big stages. I was around the Austin area. And when they say it's the live music capital of the world, like it absolutely is. You can walk down the street and hear like reggae or super, super heavy metal or singer-songwriter country that's super Western with a steel guitar. Like it's all there.
I didn't even expect that, to be honest. Like I thought it was always Nashville or you know what I mean?
Right. And I've been to Nashville twice also. Everybody's like, why not Nashville? But I don't know. It's just.
Yeah, I've got a couple friends who have Texas in their mind as well. So that's why I was like, oh, really? So I start like doing the research, right? So no.
It's neat. And also part of this little bit longer term goal is to have my house in Texas, who let's be kidding. If we're dreaming, we're going like big, awesome ranch with living quarters for my band, like above the barn and everything. And maybe a studio up there or whatever. And then have like my roots in Texas, but all like connections and whatnot in Nashville. And I've actually talked about this with some girls that live in Nashville. And we're like, we'll just like once every 2 months, we'll just switch and we'll line each other up some gigs and stuff, whether it's singer-songwriter circles.
Yeah.
And we'll just do that and, have spare rooms for each other.
It's not a bad idea, actually.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like a 16-hour drive. So you don't want to do it like every week, but once a month would be doable.
Yeah, absolutely. And okay, perfect. Last thing, for those who don't know, where can they find you on social media?
Social media, I'm pretty well everywhere. I'm on Facebook as Lyndsay Butler Music. Instagram is probably my favorite. Also, if you like dogs and funny country things, definitely follow me. On Instagram, I believe it's Lyndsay_Butler. And I'm also on Twitter, but not really my favorite one. Yes. And I have a website, lindsaybutler.com, which I will be blasting out a new email today to remind everybody that Stalker Song is available.
Perfect. All right, guys, go grab her newest single, Stalker Song. And Lyndsay, thanks so much for taking the time today.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking the time and, hanging out with me in the morning, which is not a usual thing.
I know. I had a rough morning too. I was like, it was just the coffee was a must as you grab the cup, and
yep,
it was a must. And But anyways, let's stay in touch. We'll chat soon, and I'm sure we'll run into each other at some point here.
Absolutely, I would love that.
Awesome. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, Cody. You as well.
All right. See ya.